Christina Morgan, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I met you through your work at the Ronald McDonald House of Newfoundland and Labrador. Let's talk about, just for anyone that doesn't know your charity, what is the Ronald McDonald House?
Well, thank you again for having me here. And Ronald McDonald House is definitely my favorite conversation. At the Ronald McDonald House, we keep families close to each other and the medical care and resources that their child needs when they need it the most. So generally, when families are more than 80 kilometers away from St. John's, they can avail of the services of Ronald McDonald House. And we have 15 family suites at the Ronald McDonald House and lots of common areas for families to, be themselves, do what they would do normally at home, but in the comforts of the Ronald McDonald House, just steps away from the hospital.
Well, we just finished here on NTV the Janeway and the Janeway Telethon, and so important to have our children well looked after. But when we think about kids getting sick, we often just think about the kid and we forget that actually the whole family is really touched and affected, aren't they?
Absolutely, they are. One of the founding members of Ronald McDonald House Charities back in 1974, Dr. Audrey Evans, once said, "When a child is sick, a family is sick." And we couldn't agree more. And after now 11 years of providing services and programs to families with a sick child in Newfoundland and Labrador, we've really seen that. And it's really important to keep families together with a child when they are sick, and their siblings, their brothers and sisters. Everyone is affected when someone's sick in the family.
Yeah, you don't want to be isolated. I imagine that's such a good point. But it's not just the physical stress the child's going through, and I always say that's real stress. There's fake stress, work stress, there's money stress. A loved one being ill, it must be right at the top along with losing someone you love in terms of real stress in life.
Absolutely. We often talk about the financial impact to a family having to travel away from home and, for the medical care that they need, but there's also psychological stress for children that are sick and being separated from their families or having to be admitted into the hospital. And that's something that I can really relate to as a child. I was in an accident when I was a young girl, and my parents were just recently divorced. So being separated from my family, I still remember that moment in the old Janeway Hospital when the doctor said that I had to be admitted. I was scared, and I remember that as a very traumatic experience, and that's kind of come with me right into my adulthood. So when I see those kids having to be admitted in the hospital, being separated from their families, and knowing that my work at the Ronald McDonald House is helping keep their families with them is really, really important to me.